Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is all about the skills and free tools and software that you can have in your business. This is Jane Gardner, and we're going to be talking today about the skills that you may need as an entrepreneur that you hadn't thought about, or it's stopping you from doing business because you don't know these skills. Maybe you can have a look at some of the skills that you can briefly have that you need in your business to be in business. So this obviously I'm going to talk to you about in the first episode. I'll do an overview of what the skills are of an entrepreneur. I like to call it being a Jill or jack of all trades in your business. It is basically having to know a little bit about a lot of things in your business that help you from moving forward in your business, rather than having to wait for, say, a web designer to come and do your graphics for your website, or even doing bookkeeping, understanding what bookkeeping is and that kind of thing. So I give you an overview of the skills of the entrepreneur on this episode. You have to know a bit about your cash flow. If you don't know about your cash flow, you'll be losing money. And if you don't know how to do sales and you don't know how to do selling, well, you're not going to have a business. So everybody, whoever goes in to be an entrepreneur, needs to know a bit about sales and selling and how to get customers, and your website and your email, and just getting subscribers to your list, and knowing all that computer technology, and on and on and on. So it's always good to be able to know a little bit about everything. And of course, I have forgotten to introduce myself. So this is me. Hi, I'm Jane Gardner, and I have my website, jane-gardner.com, which is basically my main site. And I've been on the internet for about 3 years, but I've been in business with my husband, who's over there on the right, for about 19 years in our home-based business as an engineering company here in Canada. As you can see over there on the West Coast, we live over there. And basically, we like to travel, and that's picture me in the old office. We converted our what we call a den basement into our office, and then when we finally made the decision and commitment, we paid some money and renovated our garage into our home office. It works quite well. And then I have my dogs, and we like to travel, and I'm an artist. And you'll probably see me on the internet doing a lot of memes. Some people call me the meme queen because I enjoy doing memes. They're really get you getting started in the morning in a positive mood. So today we'll be looking at, I think today we'll be looking at HTML. Oh, sorry. Let me get back to me. We're going to be talking a little bit briefly about HTML, because you need to know about HTML if you want to have some control over your website. I know a lot of you are probably not interested in designing your website or knowing a lot about code or knowing how to set up your email. But if you don't know a little bit about this, you're going to be losing money and you're going to be unproductive, because you're going to have to be waiting for someone else to do it for you. And sometimes they have a big lineup of people that they're getting things done for, so that costs you time. And of course, it costs you money. And being a solopreneur, you always have to make sure you're keeping an eye on your money. So today I thought there's just so many things to talk about that I thought today we'd just do a quick overview of what HTML is for any of you who don't know what it is. And then maybe I'll have a checklist available for you to download of a few HTML tags that you need to know in your business, just to make your website work better, and also just make it look better. And just quickly be able to adjust things in your website. So today we're going to have a look at, let me just turn the training on here. We're going to have a look at HTML, and that stands for, of course, Hypertext Markup Language. It's the original language that your web browsers use to communicate to you what a particular web page looks like. It was the original one, and I learned it back in the 1990s. And just like learning any new language, be it Spanish, Chinese, or even English, of course, there's all these memorizing, as well as learning some basic standards, like what a noun is or how it's used properly in a sentence. Well, just the same way, so does HTML. But most of it I actually learned on the internet. They've been very good at, instead of nouns and verbs, there's tags and other elements. Some of the new ones in our video span. Your web browser uses it to put your YouTube videos on your computer screen, or those words with bold type or red color on that web page. All those cool things are because of certain elements or tags that make up your HTML coding. There are loads of other languages for your web browsers. They now have CSS, and the jQuery or JavaScript, but these also add a lot of additional cool features to your website. But HTML is the basic, the foundation, which everything started with the HTML websites. So what is HTML5? It's the newest version, and it's many improvements over its prior version. They have a few new tags, and of course it probably responds better to the many of the basics of HTML remain with HTML5. There's a few differences between HTML5 and the older versions of HTML. The code is cleaner and easier for today's browsers to read and interpret. They've added a few new tags. Some of the old tags have been dropped, and HTML is built to work, of course, with your cell phone and your tablets. More responsive. A couple of the new tags in HTML5 are video and audio, and the carets on either side are, of course, required for either of those tags in order to use it. One of the ways I learned about the different HTML tags was looking at the code in other people's web pages. So that's a good tip for you if you're just wanting to start learning about HTML. Anytime you want to see the tags or coding that makes a website do what it does, just in your browser, you right click and then select View Page Source, and there you go. It'll show you some of the coding. And I know it looks kind of scary and overwhelming. It's just like seeing a foreign newspaper. But as you become more familiar, you start to pick out words that you might remember and what they mean. And obviously there's levels of, there's HTML and then CSS on top of that. But the more you learn about it, the more you'll be able to recognize what most of that is and what it does. Then you'll be able to use the same tags and elements to craft your own web pages. And I think next week we'll go over a few of those tags live. But here's a few websites for you to bookmark to learn more about what makes a website do what it does. And one of these I know was one of my main ways to learn HTML when I was using Front Page and those other systems to create it. This one is called htmldog.com. It has tutorials. It has references and articles, but especially the tutorials are the best way to learn about something. Sometimes when I go blank and can't remember, well, how do I do that again? I just do a search in Google and go and find one of these websites to find out how to do it, say how to make a list or how to do a link. So they usually always list the tags, so you see quite a variety of tags that they use. And then there's related pages about the attributes and end tags and CSS properties. Some of the tags that have been removed from HTML5 so that you're not going to be using those again and figuring out why. So for example, they used to have a tag called bold, but now they're using the strong, which means strong emphasis, and it instead of bold. This is the one that I've been using, www.w3schools.com HTML /. It's really great because it has a little tutorial there that you can actually use the example. So all you have to do is copy and paste it, and they tell you how to do that, and they show you what it's going to look like when it's working. And in each HTML page, you have to start with the caret exclamation mark doc type HTML caret. And then there's the basic structure, which is called nesting. So they have that up the top, and then there's the body and the head. And then there's various elements. I like this website because you can see what it's actually going to look like. And then they've changed the top of each HTML page now. It used to be quite longer in 4.01. I had to remember all the transition / en, all that. It was quite you had to basically go and copy and paste it because no one could remember that. But now it's much easier with the new header at the top of HTML. And then there's another website you could try, W3C. It has training there on what is HTML as well. They use a wiki page. Yeah, right. On Wiki, they have their own W3 website information on HTML. They have some of the history, and they show you the basic structure of a page, which is, and then they would have some of the tags that you can use. So you would just go through there and look and see, okay, if I want to make this a larger size font, what HTML do I use? And then, of course, you can always go to Wikipedia and see what they have there on HTML. There's always information on everything at Wikipedia. And then the update for HTML5 is on Wikipedia. You can have a read through there and see all the information on that. It can make a difference if you do know some HTML to see what the difference is between it and HTML5. But in particular, it's got some quite a new features on video and audio, making it easier for you to do your videos on your website and your podcasting on your website. Oh, and here's the HTML video code and how to use it. And obviously they have good explanation on what code you use, and how do you just copy and paste it and add in your links to make it different. And they tell you what the video formats those HTML use. So the more you practice, of course, the better and quicker you'll get at doing it. It is a foreign language for some people, but it's just something that you have to, if you don't know, it has really helped to be able to know some HTML. So maybe next week, I don't know, maybe I should just do a little call on a variety of subjects and then go into doing a little training. But I can do a little training on when you do WordPress and you're putting in your images and your text and nothing's aligning right, it just won't move into the place that you want it to. It doesn't center even though you told it to center by clicking on center. Then you have to go into your HTML and see what's wrong. Or if the link doesn't work, that you want to go to another page, well, why wait for a web developer to do it? And why pay a web developer to do it? I'm all about doing a little, knowing a lot about, a lot of things. And it can be scary at times, and you think, oh, I don't want to learn this. But honestly, you can just get some cheat sheets of things, and I'll put together one for next time. Just the ones that really get you some control of your HTML and your website, and that will really help you. So I think that's all for today. I just wanted to show you the kind of things that I'll be doing. I'll just put up this again. So I will be talking about cash flow. I know you don't want to talk about money except when you're earning it. And talking about sales and websites especially. I'm even thinking of doing another show just on the website as your platform. I don't know. And it's the same thing. You could do a whole show on email, because email is important, because it's collecting your customers under your platform and being able to communicate with your customers quite often. And I don't want to scare you off with too much computer stuff, but it's important to be able to have it secure, to have your website attractive, etc. So I think that's all for today. I think I spoke enough for today. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you. So I hope you found that useful. This gives you an idea on what HTML is and not to be intimidated by it. And we'll be doing a few more episodes on HTML, as well as making you an offer about learning some of the quick and easy steps to learn some HTML. But anyway, right now we're going to be talking about free software and tools that save you time and money in your business. I did these recordings previously, and this was the first recording. I'm afraid I have a few more giggles and a bit less resolution here, but it's certainly usable. I would say that this is the most important tool in your business. It's called Everything.exe, and I'll explain it and I show it to you in the video training, so I hope you enjoy. Welcome. Today is Freebie Fridays, and today I have a new studio because I forgot to turn it off. Welcome. Today we're talking about free stuff, because as a solopreneur, We always have to have free stuff because we need to be able to save time, save money, and be more productive in our business. Otherwise, we'll start losing money and spending too much time on stuff that we don't need to do. So today I wanted to talk about bootstrapping. If you don't know what bootstrapping is, because you're younger than I am, this is starting a business without external help or capital, according to Wikipedia. But to me, it's about life, really. And I guess I should tell you who I am, since I forgot to do that last time. I'm Jane Gardner, and I work in my home business engineering firm with my husband, who's over there in the rickshaw when we travel to Vietnam. We live in Maple Ridge over in the west coast of Canada. And we have been in home business doing engineering for about 19 years. We have some dogs and cats, and I'm an artist. And some people call me the meme queen because I love doing memes. They're very positive things and inexpensive. Well, that one actually costs a little bit of money. And we live in the West Coast forest. So I came out onto the internet because I wanted to help other people start their own business on the internet or not on the internet. I'm also very much an advocate for home business and in your offline world and having a service or product that you sell locally. And there are some of my websites that you'll certainly learn about while we're here. So today, I wanted just to talk a little bit about bootstrapping as a way for you to save money in your business. When we started out in 1997, I think the internet web browsers came in about 1992. So I learned on the internet how to use the web browsers. I took a course in bookkeeping when bookkeeping was using books in the 80s. And then I had to learn bookkeeping on the internet, of course. As well, I've been using a variety of software and tools in our business to help us save money and be more productive. And today I wanted to talk about one of them that I really like. And in fact, I was using this morning because I couldn't find my show. Not this show, but another show, which didn't broadcast on Wednesday. So because, as you know, anyone who has a computer has a very large hard drive. With gigabytes of files, you better have a system in order to find things. Because, whoa, I don't know what I have on these computers, but boy, I'm sure glad I have this freebie. So I wanted to call this is Freebie Fridays, and I hope you'll come back next week. We have plenty of free software and tools that you can use, especially on the internet these days, to help you in your business. And it's just a matter of deciding, which one should I do this week? But considering this one saved it didn't save my bacon because I couldn't find my video today with even using everything. It's called Everything. The freebie for today is called Everything.exe. It is an executable file, which means that it is a file, it is a software. And I wanted to show you a little bit about it. So I'm going to go over to where the website is. It's basically a free web software by voidtools.com, voidtools.com. And it's one of these ones that are public accessible. And it's a search engine. And you think, well, who needs another search engine? But I mean, you've all tried Windows search engine. It is absolutely useless to find anything. I have never found anything on there, even when I had the file name. But this one can find it anything for you. Sorry, just thinking of the time. So it's a free download, and it does it quickly. It uses very little of your resources, and of course it is always updating and indexing your files on your computer as you create new ones. And I'll just show you how you basically you download it depending on which computer and which software you have on your computer. And so you make the choice. There's even a multilingual one. And there's even one for portable. Wow. Installer. I wonder if I should put that on my phone. My phone doesn't have that much on it. But there's also one that's an upgrade. It's in beta. And of course, they probably also have one for Mac, knowing them. So let's have a look. Let's see. Maybe not. But they do have a frequently asked questions section at voidtools.com, and what it is, and how long, and it tells you also how you can use the language so you can find files, and quite a bit of information actually. So I won't go over like Boolean operators, etc. I could do a whole course on this, because you could find a file that has been hidden it's just amazing, really. So unlike Windows search, everything initially displays every file and folder on your computer, and then you type in a search filter. So let's go have a look. I'm going to just drag this out of the way. There we go. And as you can see, it opened up and it has every single file I have on my computer. Woo! And that's a lot of pages to download. And no, we don't want to open that right now. So what you do with it is you use a search. But this is a cool one over here. I'll just show you this because you can find new things with these. So you can view a filter. You can put on filters, and of course status bar, that's down here, of course. And you can make it a certain window size, and you can zoom it in and out, and you can sort by name, path, size, extension type, date modified, date created, accessed. Oh, I just love this thing. But what I just found out today is I have been, I know obviously for audios, I do a search for MP3. Well, I don't even have to do that. It has this thing over here, which is the folders. And basically, this is the folder for everything. And then if I want to search everything in audio, it goes like this, and boom, every audio that's on my computer, or wave, any kind. In fact, it's not just MP3s. I'm not even sure what an MOD is. I'll have to look that up. Is listed instantly, as well as zip files. Now, you know how many zip files you forget to remember where you put them. And those are all sort of computer ones, so ignore those. They're not terribly interesting. Documents. Oh my God, what the heck is that? I don't even know what that document is. But hopefully it's something good. Let's go to, well, there's an Excel spreadsheets, etc., etc. And then, of course, all the software, the exe files, the folders, awesome. But I don't usually remember the folders. Pictures. Now, I love this one because, of course, you can put in a picture. Well, actually, this one doesn't work too well because most of my pictures are enabled with numbers. But if you knew the name of it, like you could do a search. And then video. Well, of course, I couldn't find my video this morning at all because I didn't remember what I named it. So you have to remember what you named it. But it's all showing up all the types of videos, MP4s, WMVs, SWFs, which I use for, I think it's for Video Scribe. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so let's say I wanted to look for something interesting. So a mindset. Let's do mindset. All I have to do is put in the word mindset. And that's all I've got. That's amazing. Oh no, oh my God. I've chosen my, sorry, excuse me. Excuse the language. I'm just so excited. Because I picked the folder video, it's showing me all the MP4s that have mindset in it. So let's just go back to everything, and then I'll show you that it does show everything. So there's a PowerPoint with that title, an MP4, an MP3, and that's even the Mac version of it, the key. And then of course the zip files. And then what you do is here, I'll just show you. Scroll this over a bit so you can see it. So it shows you the path to where you're going. I have actually on this computer, I just have one hard drive inside the computer and then one hard drive outside the computer. And so it shows you which hard drive it's on. So E is my one outside and what folder it's in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the way down. Oh, it keeps going all the way down, the whole list of everything, and it's PowerPoint. And what's happened with that one? See, it's just in one of the folder subjects. It's just the folder mindset, and it's looked that up. Oh, just so good. Or did it? Oh, it looked up the mindset in the PowerPoint, the word mindset. So all you have to do then is once you find what you're looking for, or remember what you're finding, or find one you didn't remember you had, you just double click on it, and I guess it won't show up for you because it's going to open up the whole thing. So let's make this smaller and see if I can move it over there. Oh, what the heck? Stop. We don't need to update on anything. No, we're not updating. Go away. Excuse me while I resize it. But what's that? 2 seconds, and I found it, right? Here, look. Understanding and adopting a successful business mindset. And I didn't even know I had that because, well, I'm 58 years old and I don't remember everything. So I love Everything.exe. And anyway, but you can obviously use things like the asterisk .zip will show you all your, all the files that are zipped, or all the PDFs. Oops. For example, or you can put in a word part of it. Let's see maybe let's try mindset again. Yeah, and it still shows up because even though it's got the asterisk in it, but it's everything that's got mindset in it. So I could do this it's just amazing, and it's free, and I really should donate to it. So and you should donate to it if you're using it. So maybe I'll do that soon. There we go. So why am I doing this? Well, this is basically Freebie Fridays. And with using the Everything.exe, I've just quickly found something on my computer and saved me time and money, because I don't know how I'd find it otherwise, really. I'd have to get somebody in to find all my mindset. You can print them all out, of course, the lists of all the files that have been found with the word mindset in it. And it just saves me time all the time. Today I looked it up for that video. Before that I had to look for this logo that I had created. Oh, it's just an amazing. Here, let's get the name up again for you. Everything.exe. And yes, it finds you everything on your computer. and it's awesome. So I hope you didn't mind me giggling too much in that episode. I think a few things went wrong, and I got a bit giggly. But Everything.exe is essential to my business because we have all these gigabytes on our computer. It's important to know where everything is, and certainly you can't remember where everything is. So that's why I talk about organizing your computer in an earlier episode. So hopefully you enjoyed and got something out of that, and make a note of Everything.exe. Go get it. It's still free. It always is free. And thank you. We'll see you next week.